Welcome to Nostalgic Chats Podcast, where we take you to the past and present time. We are your talk hosts,
Danny,
Harry,
Carmelo,
Chad,
and
Wilson.
Hey, how's it going, guys? So this is going to be episode 3. This is going to actually be part 2 of the last episode, which was top 10 wrestlers of all time. We all gave our list of top 10 and some honorable mentions. And now we're going to be we're going to discuss and on who doesn't belong on that list that each of one of us gave. And I'm going to go at it first. No, let me stop. So let's go. Let's ask Harry. I want to see what Harry has to say about who doesn't belong on the top 10 from anybody else's list. I don't know if you want to just focus on one person or go randomly. Just tell us the wrestler you feel that doesn't belong there and why. Your opinion on it.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with yours. I'm just going to go, I'm going to bounce around lists. No particular order at all. None. Okay, one name that sticks out like a sore thumb is the Ultimate Warrior. I get it. Like, I remember the stuff you said, but it just doesn't do it for me. Like, yeah, he was cool. His team was cool. Probably even more cooler than him. And when he used to come shaking the ropes.
Yeah.
So,
but that's where it stops.
Yeah, I don't think he should be in the top 5. I would put Ric Flair has a bigger impact in wrestling than Ultimate Warrior does. But then again, this is your list. So I will have Flair over him, at least knock him down a few notches. And
yeah, out the top 10.
Yeah, facts. Because he definitely don't belong in there.
Yeah, and I don't really got nothing to say. Chad's list looks pretty decent for him.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because this is, for him, yeah, I can never argue with Stone Cold as number 1. Like, for me, I didn't have Triple H as number 1 because I went off memory, so... But he's my top wrestler. But I'm going by my childhood. And then I can't believe Danny didn't have Kane. Well, half of y'all didn't have Kane. Nobody had Kane?
Yeah, because he doesn't belong there. That's why.
At least number 10. At least number 10.
Yeah, I agree.
At least number 10. I thought, if anything, Wilson. But then, Wilson said, he's a bit of everybody. Those dark characters like Undertaker. So it was just like a Undertaker 2.0 kind of. And then Wilson, yeah, I just couldn't believe he has John Cena as number 5 over Ric Flair or Macho Man.
There was in no particular order. I was just saying.
Okay, you're right.
Wilson's was scattered, yeah.
Yeah.
How about he shouldn't be there either?
You're right. And then another one is Danny. He doesn't have Kane as well. I thought he would be. Yeah. And then
Kane doesn't belong there, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought he would have Chris Jericho in there, but that's about it. I'm done.
All right, so Chad, you gonna go next, Chad?
Okay, so who's gonna go next?
Let's see what you got.
Let me get this off. Let me get this off real fast because, all right. So Carmelo. I can't believe you and Wilson had John Cena on y'all list. I feel like John Cena's gimmick was so lame. Like, I mean, I don't even think he was that good of a wrestler. I felt like he just used to run around the ring with oversized jean shorts and
oversized. He used to do the freestyle
and hats.
He had the 5 knuckle shuffle, bro.
I got to give you a shout out because you did have Chris Jericho in there. I think Chris Jericho really is a top 10 wrestler. I don't know who I would have bumped out for him, but I definitely wouldn't have had Razor Ramon in there. He would have had to go. Razor Ramon is definitely between 20 through 30.
Yeah, no Chico up in that motherfucker.
Yeah, 20 through 50.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's definitely not in the top 10. Danny, and I know we spoke briefly. You had Roddy Piper. It looked like you just ran out of wrestlers that you was thinking about. So you put Roddy Piper in. What impact did Roddy Piper? I mean, yeah.
Just because you don't remember him wrestling doesn't mean that he wasn't good.
But you're right. No. Why did you? I forgot to say.
Why
that.
did you, Daddy? Yeah, seriously. Just because I didn't.
Nobody
He
played the bagpipes.
Yeah, nobody. That's all we know. Exactly. So those are really my only gripes. Yeah, I had a couple of issues with y'all stuff, but yeah. So I would say Harry's Razor Ramon. I don't think John Cena should be there. Maybe in like 15 through 20 John Cena, and I mean Roddy Piper is like probably 75, somewhere like that. I don't know why.
Damn.
I don't know why he's in Daddy's top like that. So yeah, that's it for me.
I say he ran out of
No,
wrestling.
you mean you should have the big sexy Kevin Nash in like top 50 or 200th. Because he don't belong in the motherfucker
all
either.
right, Daddy. All right, Daddy. It's your turn. I guess it's your turn, Daddy.
Bad Daddy.
Go ahead, Daddy.
Yeah, so he don't belong there. And Wilson, Mankind really?
Yes.
He's a trash can.
Damn.
Just because his paper's okay doesn't mean that he belongs in the top 10. Hey, Hogan don't even like him. Nah, I'm kidding.
He said Hogan likes nobody.
I'm kidding. But yeah, he doesn't belong. No, none of his papers, Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love,
Dude
any
Love.
of them motherfuckers
Dude
belong up
Love.
there.
Mick Foley and stuff.
Wow.
Nah, yeah.
I
None of them.
said, dude, low.
He was just good at hurting his body and you liking it.
Yeah, you're right.
It turned me on.
He's a top 10 of
Yeah.
of hardcore, yeah, but not in no top 10 wrestler. And let's see, John Cena, of course, he doesn't belong there. He can't really wrestle.
Yeah, that's true.
He survived a lot by little kids loving him and buying his merch. And then I have who we have, yeah, Ultimate Warrior. I don't know what you was thinking, Carmelo. His only good trait was running
Yeah, hey.
and pulling the ropes. That's it. That was his
Wale.
best trait and his best wrestling move.
Yeah, that's facts.
Maybe the
Daddy.
gorilla press because of his muscles, but that's it. I'm guessing that's why he left, because he couldn't do anything else. But yeah, he don't belong in no top 10. Let's see. Well, for mine, you're right. I think I added Roddy Piper because, but Roddy Piper, yeah, it was mostly my top 10. But I don't know. I threw him in there as a classic. But yeah, he was a good wrestler. But I don't know if we're doing official top 10s, then yeah, he don't belong there. And that's all I got to say about that. Who's next?
Hell yeah. Let's go, Wilson. What don't you agree with, brother?
So I agree with everybody's list. The reason why I agree with it is because these are each and one of your individual perspectives of your childhood growing up. These are people you saw and entertained the hell out of you. Just because it didn't entertain someone else or they don't see it the way you do, doesn't mean those are in your top list.
Wilson
So
Johnson don't
personally,
belong there.
because you can't see him.
Yeah.
That's
No
right.
matter,
You can't see his potential.
no matter how you spice it, he shouldn't be there.
Yeah, no, hey, well, whatever you say, to each their own. He entertained me. His lameness made me like him even more. So it's okay, and it grew on me. So I'm sorry, man. I just like his shit. And individually, separately from wrestling, he's just an amazing person. If you see his interviews, I don't know. I just like the guy. I also think
Yeah.
he's strong as fuck.
I just don't like the wrestler.
That's okay. But no, I particularly have no problem with anybody's list because, again, everybody has their childhood growing up and they see these people and it's like, oh, that shit was awesome. Like, I really, really like this guy. Think I'm going to keep this guy up there. So, like, Ultimate Warrior, like, you have to say he runs around the ring and does gorilla presses and shit, but when you're a little kid and you see shit like that, you get fucking hype. That shit will hype you up in a way that some other wrestlers just can't do. He gets in the ring, he has all this energy, he's enthusiastic, he's shaking the shit out of the fucking ropes, and his body is in great shape. I say he's a bad wrestler, but you still need to know how to wrestle to get in that ring, you know what I mean? If he was somebody that didn't know how to wrestle, he wouldn't be there, And he's just done some amazing things, and I love his entrances, especially in the game. When he comes in, you be a little scared because he's kind of wild. As for Mankind, I like Mankind because specifically Socko, because it was extremely entertaining to me. So
You wouldn't like that. You
shoving
wouldn't
a
like that.
fucking dirty
You
ass
would
sock
like the
down
Socko.
someone's goddamn throat. I think
Pull
it was
it out
delicious.
your crotch, and then
It was
That's
really
it.
the Rock
That's
and
it.
Rock
Take it off
connection,
his
right?
There you go.
Wilson? The Rock and Rock connection.
But that's what I'm saying. That duel was amazing, which I said in the other episode a little bit. But it just, he's taking the shit out of his crotch, here, have a taste of these balls and shit.
Oh,
Sweating and marinating up in there, you know what I mean? So it's like kind of like that's disgusting, but I really don't think that's where it really was. Who knows? We'll never know. But I think that shit was entertaining. And when he took it out from there, everybody was like, oh no. And even the JR and all these other guys were like, yo, that's nasty. But it's entertaining. and you might have to give up because if it's not the mandible claw, the smell will get you. Or the taste of saltiness will get that ass. You know what I'm
They
saying?
say he used to put the sock in his gooch.
Nah,
And it's
you know
That's
that-
the
you know
bad
that
spot.
thing used to
You
stink.
get,
You know
you
that
get
thing
nothing
used
but
to
sweat
stink.
from your butt and balls
Yeah.
at the same time. Woo!
Yeah.
The best of both worlds, marinating.
It's cooking up in there.
Cooking up that stink.
And then, for just, like I said, everybody has their own individuality when it comes to these lists, and I respect it all. I legitimately have no problem with it at all, But that's
Okay,
just me.
Johnson,
Yeah.
we get it.
Yeah.
I agree because it is your personal list. It's not like an official one.
Nah, I don't agree.
Nah.
Nah.
I told you we're gonna have a match then.
It doesn't matter.
No stipulations.
By the way, Wilson, you never even mentioned Road Dog. That used to be your homeboy.
I did
oh,
used
shit,
to like
right.
Road Dog, yeah. But like
Yeah.
I said, like,
honorable
Doggy
mention.
style.
I couldn't remember a lot of things. Like I said, it was like a lot to try to remember these things. But yeah, like he was also a
Like
person
the
that just
doggy
had
style.
some moves.
Yeah. And
He hanged out with Mr. Ass.
And I got
She is
one
lit.
for Danny and for Carmelo. For Danny was Test. He used to like Test a lot.
Yeah, Danny, you did love Tat.
And
He had
yeah.
leather pants.
And yeah, had
Yeah.
leather ones too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Carmelo used to like X-Pac a lot. Or the
He
one
was
two
bleeding
three.
every
Yeah,
other
boy,
episode.
I mean,
Top
X-Pac
10,
was-
Bronco
X-Pac
Buster.
No, but I'm
was
saying
fun.
just to mention,
Yeah.
Bronco
His
Buster.
name
How you
is-
like Rikishi, right?
Nah.
Nah,
Listen,
I never liked
I like Rikishi. I love all these
All that
dirty
ass,
wrestlers
though.
that put
all that ass.
that ass on your face and here, take a
Come on,
food for
man.
this.
Come
Come
on,
on,
Wilson.
man.
Come
That's
on.
what, that's what you like.
That's
Wilson?
lit. That's lit. Yeah, but donkey donk, man. What do you mean? So that
Come on.
them cheeks were nice and thick.
Come
He
on,
wore
man.
that thong.
He did. You know that thing was sweaty too, man. You know that thing was sweaty.
You know it was. You know it was sweaty in there. He smacked you with that ass you found, then he put that shit on your face and danced on it. Like, come on.
Yeah, he was part of Too Cool. But Grandmaster
He was
Sexy.
Yeah, Graham.
He
Yeah.
was.
Got it
Sexy.
worm.
The
the
worm, yeah. I forgot about
They made
Too
him
Cool,
dance.
man.
Yeah.
Dun,
Is that
dun,
right?
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so I don't know any other names that got left out, but those come top of the head, the more popular ones. And I thought Carmelo liked Vince McMahon. He didn't even mention him.
Oh yeah, he was Vince McMahon in the game all day. Mr. McMahon.
Yo, it'd be
What?
like, I don't know, like Chad used to pick like Lita or something like that. Or China. He used to do the low blow.
Chad,
Yeah,
you
she
should
did
pick
a little
Jada
look.
for she could come out with the thong.
Yeah.
She
With
did.
the
She always
thong
had
on.
it showing out of her pants. She did have that. Right. That wasn't me.
Yeah,
That was
and
Norris.
China-
That wasn't me. I know who you're talking about though. Norris used to be doing that nonsense.
He used to always
China
pick the
died though, right?
females.
I know she died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus, Wilson. Jesus, man.
What? Too much? What?
you just mentioning everybody that died.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I'm just thinking about the people that died and didn't. I was wrong about one guy, Bret Hart. So I was like, oh, wait, it was Owen Wilson who fell off of that damn.
Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson, the actor Wilson.
Oh, I said Owen Wilson. You hear me?
Yeah, he's the
Oh,
actor.
my God. Owen Hart. Jesus Christ.
He's an Owen Wilson.
I didn't know he was a wrestler.
I'm like the actor you talk about.
It's
Like I
John
said,
Claude
I
Van
get
Damme.
a little confused here, but yeah, you know what I meant. But thank you for correcting me.
He said,
I think Carmelo
so-
hasn't went through the list
Yeah,
yet.
Carmelo, you didn't go through.
Yeah, I have him. I'm
yeah,
ready.
who you
I'm
don't
ready.
agree. Go ahead.
All right. So on Wilson's,
I know he's coming after
list,
me.
I'm gonna go in order. Yeah, I'm going after you. I'm going Wilson's Mankind. Nah, he shouldn't be there. Glorified stuntman. A lot of the top wrestlers don't like him. You know, like he did some pretty cool stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just like some stuff was like cringy. Like, why would you throw yourself off of the top of the cage? Like, we don't need to see that. Like, you know, like
Yeah,
it was cool, but it's just like,
broken in half.
yeah,
The Hell in the Cell.
Yeah,
That was
but
one
it's
of the
just-
best
yeah.
matches he had.
Mello,
Yeah.
is that a real
Yeah, bro,
thing?
but
A lot of
that's-
wrestlers
And
didn't
it's
like him.
just hitting the floor, getting hurt.
not that they didn't like him, but they kind of they didn't agree with all the stunts that he would do to get over.
Like the extreme stuff.
get what
Putting
I'm
his
saying?
body on the line.
Yeah, like especially the older guys like Ric Flair and Hogan, they be like, "Yo, this dude's wilding." Like, I'm not gonna keep up with that. I'm not gonna throw myself.
Yeah,
I know
like
they
a
that's
Terry
what they
Funk.
thinking.
Yeah, he was like
Yeah,
a trash guy.
so because
and that's what made him unique.
Yeah, but at the time it was ECW. They were doing all that wild shit in ECW, like hitting each other man hard in the head with, you know what I'm saying, with chairs.
That's why he must Cactus Jack, right?
Thumbtacks.
And having like 10 tables on top of each other.
Yeah, they was just wilding. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of that stuff, like they be bleeding like a whole bunch, and it's just like, yo, like what am I watching? You know what I mean? And then they be fighting in somebody's backyard and shit. Like, you know,
backyard wrestling.
Yeah, like.
Are they alive when they drop down there? Like, is he alive?
Yeah, it was entertaining, but it's just like they just took it to a whole nother level. This is like a bit cringe. So for Chad, let me see who Chad got here. Kevin Nash shouldn't be there, brother. I'm sorry. I like Kevin. I like Kevin Nash, but nah. He had the cool factor. That's about it, bro. I mean,
he did have a cool. He was cool.
That's about it.
He had a big boot.
Yeah,
too.
Big Daddy cool. He was the big boot. The big boot.
Yeah, he had the interview where he's like, "I'll say when I'm done."
Yeah. Now he was good on mic too.
Had Kevin Nash, and then a few of you guys got Triple H. That man does not belong in nobody's top 10. Yeah. It's just I just feel there's too many people that come before him to be in that top spot. He kind of played. I think DX was good in a way, but him being so closely together with HBK all that time, kind of like he got overshadowed. So maybe I know they made DX famous together, but maybe if he would have went his own route, but I kind of feel like he was overshadowed a lot, but I don't feel like he was at the top at all. Harry's just salty because the Ultimate Warrior came and whooped his ass in like 10 seconds.
Nah, they say he always buries people. He put the Ultimate Warrior over.
Nah, not at the time. He didn't have no power.
Yeah, I know.
I get it. Like I sometimes you hold spite towards certain wrestlers because they just shitted on your wrestler. Ultimate Warrior definitely has to be up there. He definitely. So first of all, Hogan passed the torch. So that alone right there, that should be enough. Hogan passed him the torch.
It didn't work. That's why he had to come back to take it.
Yeah, obviously. But he was
the ship started sinking after that.
But I just think he got it in his own way. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like him politicking outside of wrestling at the time, because he was he just went over Hogan, so he was the biggest star, so I guess that kind of got to his head. But before then, like, I just think he had he used to say crazy stuff in his promos, but his promos was pretty hype. As a little kid, you were hyped to see his promos, his ring entrance. Like, I just think he had it all, man. Like, that's some stuff you can't kind of learn what Ultimate Warrior had. Who else is list? So Triple H definitely doesn't belong up there. Even though I like Chris Jericho, I'm gonna say we gotta take him off. I just don't think he's had enough time at the top. If Chris Jericho, so this is the way I think, right? Chris Jericho right now, he's in AEW. If he would have had the star power that a top 10 person would have, he would have made a bigger splash. And
that's a fact.
That whole,
I'm agree with you on that.
Kind of like Hulk Hogan,
out of shape.
All right, so kind of like when Hulk Hogan went to WCW, Hogan was like already near his 50s. You know what I mean? So that's the type. So that's why when they told me CM Punk, when people mention him, it's like, no, like CM Punk was a big deal, quote unquote. Then he goes over to AEW and he doesn't do anything. He like kind of like imploded everything over there. So I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm just saying that I don't agree with CM Punk.
Says CM Punk?
I'm just giving an example, right? Kind of like,
but that was like 10 years down the road.
Yeah, but he's not a top 10. So just like Chris Jericho, he didn't make a big enough splash to make AEW compete with WWE.
Who had him top 10?
Harry had Chris Jericho and then Razor Ramon. I love Razor.
Yeah, he did.
But nah.
He did.
No, I had CM Punk honorable mention.
Nah, I'm just saying. I'm giving an example because CM Punk did the same thing. Like, he went over, like, he's this big star, and it's like, you're not moving that many numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you did was, make a buzz and bring back those ice cream bars for like 2 or 3 nights, and that's it.
You said Razor Ramon don't belong there?
No, he doesn't.
No,
I
he
mean,
don't.
I thought you liked him.
Definitely
yeah, I like him. I'm not saying I don't like him. He just doesn't belong there. B. Like, you know, he had that cool fact that he was good on the mic. I just think he was another one of those guys that, you know, it's kind of like when you got like a stacked card, right? And it's like there's only a certain number of slots. And let's say if Hogan would have never been there, maybe Razor would have been like bigger. So there was always somebody better than him occupying that spot. That's why he couldn't, you know what I mean, break through that glass ceiling or whatever you want to call it. Just feel like there was somebody always there kind of like to stop his growth. But that's the case with a lot of things, right? I was just thinking kind of like, you know, let's just let's say reference basketball, right? Like Jordan. If Jordan was never in the league, imagine who would have been like the top person. You get what I mean? How many other people would have won championships? But they couldn't because Jordan was there. The same thing like with Hogan. Hogan was there, so now Scott Hall can't win the champion. You know, he wasn't even. I
agree with that.
Chris Jericho wasn't even. Razor wasn't ever a champ. Yeah, because there was always somebody there, like you know, like stopping
over him. Yeah, better than him.
Yeah, so so in WWF you had HBK, you had Bret Hart, you had so many others, and if he would have stood there, it would have been the same because then you had Stone Cold. Well, if he would have stood there, then
Stone Cold was coming up at the time. Yeah, then the NWO wouldn't have happened, maybe.
But that's the thing, right? Because Hogan went to WCW, and then that's when Austin came over.
Scott Hall was already there too.
Yeah,
Scott Hall was already there, and Kevin Nash.
Him and Nash. Yeah, him and
so
Nash.
Who knows? So who knows how it would have played out?
They came after Hogan already been there for a little while already,
yeah?
And then they showed
because Hogan was with the yellow still.
Yeah.
WCW
with Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
And by the way, when he got to WCW, Hogan, he got in way better shape than when he left WWF.
He looked thinner too. I think
he was thinner, more athletic, and in better shape
thinner.
When he got to
because
WCW.
of all the steroid scandals.
Yeah, he probably stopped taking them at that point.
Yeah,
he used to dye his beard black, right? With the white mustache.
With the white mustache. He was wilding for that.
Yeah.
But this is why you have like when Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, when they started becoming champions, because they were kind of going away from that to get away from the scandal of the steroids. Vince McMahon liked them big beefy dudes. You know what I'm saying? like Batista. Like he liked all them dudes that look like larger than life. That's what he gravitated towards. He didn't really want to go towards you know, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. Not didn't really, but he had no other choice. They were great. Don't get me wrong, but if he would have had his choice, he would have had like a big beefy dude because he, you know, like pushing Brock Lesnar to the moon.
Lex Luger, that was my guy.
Lex Luger.
He tried with him in the
Lexi
field.
Sexy.
Yeah, is that
nobody got him.
Who's the guy that Carmelo liked that he used to like flex his muscle, then kiss his little muscle on the top?
Big Papa.
Big Papa. Scott Steiner.
If you hear me.
Scott Steiner.
Or you freaks out there.
Yeah, you didn't have Buff Bagwell either.
Holla if you hear me.
You didn't have Buff Bagwell either?
Yeah, Buff Bagwell.
Let's Carmelo.
Yo, he's gonna be coming
all
up
about
here.
Goldust, man.
Goldust. Nobody had Booker T.
Yeah, that's on me. Booker T.
Spinner Rooney. Yo, Booker T was actually.
You ain't have Booker T. You ain't have Mark Henry.
I have D'Lo Brown. Yeah, I have my pick on there, man.
Yo, my man D'Lo Brown paralyzed somebody, bro. He did
that.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
Droz, that was his name.
Yeah,
he had him with the power driver,
right? Sit down power.
Yeah, he did that. The lowdown.
The lowdown.
He did.
But he did it properly though, right? He's not the one that messed up. It's just the other person that just had.
I think the other guy messed up.
Sometimes it's the way you fall, bro. You can't.
Wear and tear, man.
Well, what's crazy? Droz passed away. Droz passed away like a year or two ago. He was paralyzed for over 20 years, I think, something like that. Yeah, he passed away.
Wow.
Yo, bro, I don't know how you
passed away. Or he gave up on life.
Yeah, you know, like that's kind of
either way.
That kind of like if you're a wrestler and like, you know, like I'm wrestling somebody and I paralyze them by mistake, that would take like a whole different toll on me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
I wouldn't be able to do it.
After
But I think that's
like,
what happened with him.
Yeah, because I feel like after that he wasn't around anymore. I feel like he wasn't around like that anymore.
Yeah. So then who else we got here? I think I just saw Danny. Oh yeah, Roddy Piper. Like, yeah, you wilding with that boy. You wilding.
He said you wilding with Roddy Piper.
And Danny was crazy.
Granted, when
He was alright, but
his star power was good though, right? Because when they bring him back, when Hogan bring him back, for a Starrcade, if I'm not mistaken, during '97 and '98, that pay-per-view did numbers, and it's kind of like they were kind of rekindling rivalries from back in the day. So yeah, it was big. But I just
Piper's Pit.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing, right? When we were growing up, he had Piper's Pit and everything, and he wasn't doing as much as the wrestling as he did, like, you know, during the WrestleMania 1 and 2, like he was in the ring. So we grew up seeing him, you know, like breaking the coconut over Jimmy Snuka's head. Like, you know, it was cool to see that. But yeah, I wouldn't have him in my top 10. But he was definitely a draw.
He was also one of the main bad guys back then also. He was like the heel type most of the time too. That's why I also added him, because it was like his paper and stuff, like the badass, and then he had the talking show, and then he'll beat up people too in his show and stuff like that.
He was in WrestleMania 1 versus Hogan as well.
And WrestleMania 2.
The tag team match.
Yeah, with Mr. T and stuff.
Yeah, Paul Orndorff.
Yeah. And I think Randy Orton's dad too.
The Viper.
Wasn't that his tag team partner?
Cowboy Orton, something like that.
Yep.
You know,
his partner.
Piper refused to lose to Hogan clean, because back in the day you had to protect your spot. So if you lost clean to somebody, it was like you were losing money. So it was like every time they wrestled, there had to be like a dirty finish, like a disqualification. Like, yeah, I'm gonna let you beat me, but it's gonna have to be a count out or a disqualification or something like that. You know, it was crazy back then.
Current guys that they gotta take like 10 run-ins to be a Roman Reigns. So it wasn't clean.
And he still wins.
Something like that.
I think that's why I liked it, because the way that he cheated, also like the cheating way and stuff like that, it gave his heel personality more.
Yeah, he would So yeah, he wouldn't do the job like cleanly for a lot of wrestlers, but he wasn't the only person that did it. But I think he's the most noticeable one. Even he never lost clean. Even when they bring him back to wrestle Hogan in WCW, Hogan lost to him clean, and I don't think he returned the favor. But yeah, that's the only other one. Let me double check, because I was wilding with some of these picks. Yeah, right there. Yep. Yeah, from there everything looks good. Yeah, I could say. I was gonna say Sting, but I could see why he's up there. He was the flagship wrestler of WCW, so you got to give him that. Him and Ric Flair.
This concludes episode 3. Thank you for joining us. So please follow and hit that sub button so you can get notified on upcoming shows. So, stay tuned for the next episode where we talk about our favorite cartoons growing up. And let your memories take you back to that time.